Welcome to your Daily 5 for Monday, March 18th, 2024. Over the weekend, I watched the first of a set of movies that I picked up that Vinegar Syndrome released pretty recently. A set of films, Hong Kong action films from 1991 and 2, titled Black Cat 1 and Black Cat 2. Now, these movies have an interesting history because what they started off as, at least from what the director has said, is they were intended to be direct follow-ups to the Luc Besson film La Femme Nikita. And then Disney bought the rights to the film, and of course, Point of No Return came out 94 or 5, somewhere in there. And so this movie could not be a direct remake, but basically is, with a couple of things changed and inserted to legally shield it from any actionable lawsuits or legal action from Disney. Because, you know, when Disney's involved, you got to be careful. And so this movie, if you look at reviews for it, you will see a lot of people criticizing it as it's a weak remake of La Femme Nikita. And if you're looking at it strictly through that lens, yeah, they're correct. This is obviously not going to be as good as Luc Besson's film. It is 90% La Femme Nikita in terms of the plot, but it's not really trying to compete with that movie. I think this movie was meant to be, okay, same idea, but what if we did it with a Hong Kong action style? And that's where it would make sense as the La Femme Nikita concept moved to a different agent with a different kind of focus. And in that way, I think it's a really fun film. Again, the core concept and the story basically is exactly La Femme Nikita. It's a woman who is shot and she is saved from death and put to work as a government operative, basically a government assassin, and she's sent around to do different things and ends up falling for a guy and has to decide whether, you know, that love can survive her new job, what she's going to do, with the addition of a computer chip in her brain that never really factors into the story in any significant way. That's why I feel like it's just a legal device. But because it's supposed to basically enhance all of her human potential all the way out, the Captain America scenario without the serum, instead it's a chip. And so while the movie never explicitly shows anything like that, she doesn't suddenly have, you know, like go gadget arms or anything. It does, I think, work as a way to explain things that in action films we often just we accept them even if they don't make sense. A person who is able to do superhuman feats of agility and be able to dodge bullets and take tremendous amounts of damage and not die from it. The chip does offset that particular part of the traditional action narrative. Now, that's not to say that this is a movie that has an airtight story structure. It does not. There are little holes all over the place. But this is not a film that's really made for the story. It's made to set up stunts. It's made to set up these big kind of action sequences throughout the film. And I think in that respect, it's great. It's very entertaining. It is a very well-made B-level action film that has location shooting in Canada, a little bit in New York, as far as I could tell, Hong Kong, and then Japan. So you get 3 different languages. You get English, and you get Mandarin and Japanese. You get to see different actual locations they shot in. It's actually a pretty good film. I like it. But again, you have to understand, yes, this is instead of it being an Italian ripoff, which is what I normally tend to review, this is I guess, Canadian, Hong Kong, Japanese ripoff of a well-known and well-loved French film. And I think that was the idea, is okay, that this is a French film, let's remake it for a more general audience and apply these Hong Kong action flourishes to it. And I think if you look at it that way and you're okay with that, you're going to have a lot of fun. The lead actress does a lot of stunt work. You can tell it's her. She takes some pretty serious hits throughout this movie, which makes me respect her quite a bit, because it is not, as far as I can tell, a stunt double in a lot of these dangerous and difficult sequences, and it flies by. It's 90 minutes. It's, yes, again, if you like La Femme Nikita, you're going to be familiar with the story, but that story works, and it works within this film, and it sets up a sequel, which I haven't watched yet, but I plan to, and I just had a lot of fun with it. My only caveat to it is, you can't watch it anywhere. It's not streaming. It's not even available to rent. So the only way to watch it is to do what I did, which was to buy the 2-disc set. Now, I was fine doing that because I'd seen clips, and I just had a feeling I would like the actual movies, and so far, at least I'm 50% right. But it's difficult for me to give it a blanket recommendation to most people because, you know, it's not as if it's a $10 set. I think it's $40, $45, something like that. So I wish that they had it somewhere at least to rent so people could look at it, see if they like it, and then purchase it. I think most movies should follow that model. But in any event, it is available from Vinegar Syndrome. It's a lot of fun. Black Cat, 1991. Good action film. So if you get a chance, watch it. Later.